About 13 years ago, one of our engineers tried to come up with a way to remotely configure a telephone for our average customer. Our average customer is a 72-year-old female. She's hard of hearing and she has other disabilities. Now, by definition, an amplified telephone is a rather complicated piece of technology. Now, if you were to ever listen to our Technical Assistance Center, you would think that they are the meanest people on earth. They scream instructions to our customers. It's not that they're mean, it's our customers simply can't hear the instructions. Not only can they not hear them, but in many cases, they have arthritis and they are unable to press the buttons fast enough to fix their own problem. Now, Bill Worley came up with a way to do this, and it was based on DTMF. Now, it worked, but it required a piece of hardware for every TAC workstation computer, and it only worked on one of our telephone models. My boss, David Lashley, came up to me and he said, Doug, why don't you see what you can do, see what you can come up with that we can use to remotely configure these telephones for our customers. I looked into it and I found 1,200 baud FSK radio modem kits in India. So I ordered a number of them. I took the kits, I built them and modified them to work with a serial port on a standard PC. I wrote some VisualStudio.net applications behind them and was able to send FSK data into a handset on just any of our Clarity telephones to the other Clarity telephone and receive the data through the handset and vice versa. So we had a prototype. I was unfamiliar with Asterix. So, what else do? You Google it. So I did. I Googled it and I downloaded it and discovered I needed a distro of Linux behind it. Downloaded the distro and built a Asterix machine. I guess it took me a week or so to kind of figure it out. And what I did was I had 2 Asterix boxes with the TDM cards in them and Clarity phones on them. And I configured a SIP trunk between the 2 PBXs and repeated the experiment. And that worked. So we knew we had something. So I went to the Digium boot camp class down in Huntsville, Alabama, and learned much, much more about the Asterix product. We came up with a specification based on Belcore 202 caller ID. Matthew Nicholson wrote the software patches for us, and we implemented them. Shelton Johns helped us out with the dial plan, and before you know it, we had a working application. Now we can remotely configure all these problems, and if it requires the customer to flip a switch, we tell her exactly where it is. We have images, front, side, back, that our TAC operators can pull up as they're speaking with the customer, and they can flip that switch. That's about the only thing that our customer has to do is flip a couple of hard switches. Everything else we can configure remotely. So where we would used to spend 15 minutes or more on a phone call with a customer, now it takes a couple of minutes. Big savings. And not only that, our TAC operators do not have to scream at our customers anymore. If a customer has called in and experienced the 15, 20-minute call where they are required to manually enter a phone number into, say, a speed dial location versus us blasting it to the telephone in 5 seconds, then they know the difference. If they've never experienced old and yucky, then they don't know. It's so transparent to them.